welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, so the Euro 2020 squads have been picked. No Irish players are going, except Jack Grealish and Declan Rice, obviously. Goodie! I'm gonna spend the month furiously biting my gums until they bleed. But some footballers are going who really shouldn't be. Some of them right now are packing their suitcase when really they should just be spending this month catching up in line of duty. Spoilers, it was absolute pig spunk. I'm gonna take a look at every Euro 2020 squad and find one player who their presence at this tournament makes about as much sense as Danny DeVito modeling bikinis on the beach. And by the way, lads, I know you're all from a sprinkling of nations across the globe. Great! Well, let me know that if you're a supporter of one of these teams, which of course you will be, let me know in the comments which player do you think did not deserve to make this squad. Let me know in the comment section below. Oh, by the way, while you're doing it, don't forget to smash a big fat subscribe. Absolute legends. Right, let's go. Turkey, CENGIZ under Leicester. Loan deals are supposed to enforce a player's cred, but CENGIZ under at Leicester. He's just taken on the role of Demarai Gray, rotting away on the bench. Honestly, the Turkish Demarai Gray, I think Turkey probably should have left him at home. Italy, GIACOMO, RASPADORI, Sassuolo. If any French people are currently watching this video, then please, someone go and check on Moise Kean. Pretty sure he's probably squatting under the Eiffel Tower, drying his tears with empty packets of skips. If Euro 2020 had taken place last summer in 2020, then you could understand Roberto Martinez relegating the Italian golden child Moise Kean to his couch after stinking up Goodison Park with a goal scoring ratio of a squashed porcupine. But the guy's just scored 17 goals this season for PSG. He's scored in the new camp, and you're leaving him out for GIACOMO Raspadori. Some uncapped 21-year-old wet noodle with 6 goals for Sassuolo this season. Did he walk in on Roberto Mancini making love to his dog? I mean, what does he have on him? Keane has played with Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he's already commanded a £30 million price tag. I'm convinced Raspadori is part of a Soprano-esque mafia family, and they've just threatened to iron Mancini's nipples over breakfast because I don't have any other explanation for this. Listen, I'm Irish, okay? I know a lot about Keane's being left at home for international tournaments. Honestly, I still wake up in the dead of the night crying. But this, it makes no sense for Italian football. You'd have to assume Mancini's just overdosed on expired pizza. Wales, Dylan Levitt, NK Iskra 1961. Does someone want to tell me how Dylan Levitt is joining Gareth Bale at Euro 2020? This guy is a 20-year-old Manchester United midfielder. That sounds cool in your resume. Sure, chuck it in your bio on Tinder. But look closely and you'll see he was one of the children who contributed to Manchester United's embarrassment in Kazakhstan in 2019. And this season, he failed to break into Charlton's team on loan in League One and still can't get a game on loan for Iskra 1961 in Croatia. I'm guessing he has the midfield presence of a squash marshmallow. I'm pleased for the kid. Congrats, Dylan. But why did he make the squad? Switzerland, Jordan Shaqiri, Liverpool. Okay, this is ballsy. Leaving out a Switzerland superstar like Jordan Shaqiri, but this season he's at the end product of Shakira. And honestly, all of her albums sound like cows giving birth. Listen, I'm not really saying Shaqiri should be left at home. All I'm saying is that he's lucky. He's lucky he has so much credibility built up in the bank. He's a chunky, injury-prone winger who's played 30 minutes of football in 3 months. His last match was playing the full 90 minutes in one of the most toothless, insipid, and laboured Liverpool attacking displays I've ever seen. Even going back to the days of David and Gog, losing 1-0 at home to a pudding Fulham team. Lads, this guy hadn't scored a Premier League goal since the 5-2 demolition job of Everton in December 2019, when Marco Silva was still in charge. Yes, that long ago. He is smack bang in the worst rut of his career. Denmark, MATHIAS, ZANKA, Jorgensen, Copenhagen. Oh, MATHIAS Jorgensen. A former Huddersfield defensive lump of scrambled egg. He moved to Fenerbahce in 2019, was quickly loaned out to Fortuna Dusseldorf, and this season is back on loan at Copenhagen. But he's very out of form. Could you not have picked anyone else? Finland, Daniel O'Shaughnessy, HJK. Does anyone have any hint why I might think Daniel O'Shaughnessy shouldn't be playing for Fulham this summer? Daniel O'Shaughnessy, with a name like that, he should be doing what the rest of us are doing this summer, running off to a farm in Sligo to drown our sorrows about the state of Stephen Kenning's Irish team. Daniel O'Shaughnessy, he should be playing the Baron in a pub in County Mayo, or working as a backup dancer in a Rubber Bandits music video. Not lining out alongside Teemu Pukki in Finland. With a name like that, he should be playing for Roscommon in the All-Ireland. Belgium, Thomas Vermaelen, Vissel Kobe. Belgium have one of the most exciting squads on the planet, and yet here they are still picking Thomas Vermaelen, a guy just 10 weeks off his 36th birthday. Yes, I know he's an experienced defender with nearly 80 caps, but he's also a middle-aged man playing in the Japanese leagues with Vissel Kobe. What is he doing anywhere near Kevin De Bruyne for Euro 2020? The guy is now playing at such a pudding standard. I'm convinced chucking him into a rondo or a five-a-side in Belgium training, and it'd be like sticking a stray cat in a dishwasher. Russia, Anton Zabolotny, CSKA Moscow. Okay, bringing a 29-year-old striker like Anton Zabolotny to the Euros, I mean, what are you expecting to do with that? It's like bringing a rubber duck to a back alley street fight. Just No, leave it at home. Netherlands, Quincy Promes. Listen, I could touch on Steven Bergwijn being left in a London bin, but I won't because, to be fair, he has been anonymous in 2021. But Anwar El Ghazi, the guy has repeatedly stepped up in Jack Grealish's absence at Villa Park this season. He slammed home 10 Premier League goals from the wing. He's an ice cold penalty expert, which is handy at tournaments, and he can spank in wonder goals for fun. It's arguably been the best season of his life, and yet Frank de Boer continues to overlook him. For Quincy Promes, a nearly 30-year-old winger who's currently stuck on 3 goals at the back arse of the Russian mountains of Spartak Moscow, El Ghazi should rightly feel like ripping off his own ears. Ukraine, Denis Popov, Dynamo Kiev. 22-year-old defender Denis Popov. Is he any good? Austria, ALESSANDRO Schalke. Don't bring players on a losing streak. ALESSANDRO Schalke is an experienced 27-year-old Austrian midfielder who can't even make it off the bench for a demoralised, imploding embarrassment of a Schalke outfit stapled to the foot of the Bundesliga. This guy began the season playing an hour of football in the 8-0 demolition job at Bayern Munich, and he hasn't recovered. He was on the winning side this season just once. He's had 1 win all season. Leave him at home, for Christ above. North Macedonia, nobody. Yeah, the pool of North Macedonian footballers is so small. Pretty sure everyone who made their squad pretty much deserves to be there. England, Jordan Henderson, Liverpool. Jordan Henderson is an incredible footballer. Should not be anywhere near the squad for the Euros. I'm sorry, but no, the guy spent the last 4 months recovering from groin surgery. He hasn't kicked a ball since the Anfield defeat to Everton less than a week after Valentine's Day. That's how long ago this was. He was also coming off the back of 4 defeats in a row as a makeshift centre back. And it gets worse, he hasn't played in midfield since that 7-0 win at Crystal Palace where he scored, where Liverpool were top of the table. Yeah. 1 week before Christmas. Henderson hasn't played in midfield in 6 months. James Ward-Prowse must be looking at this decision and feel like crying in the bath. He's probably betrayed by his former youth manager Gareth Southgate, because he, by contrast, has just smacked home 9 goals and contributed 7 assists from the centre of the park. Haven't England learned by now about rushing players back from injury? Croatia, Simon Sluga, Luton Town. Listen, maybe Simon Sluga does deserve a place in the Croatian squad, but I just can't get my head around the fact that a Ballon d'Or winner and Real Madrid Galactico like Luka Modric is now competing in the same football team as a goalie from Luton Town. Scotland, John Fleck, Sheffield United. It feels like John Fleck should be about 45 years of age and struggling with the rigours of male menopause, right? Because he's been around since he was a youth wonder kid at the age of 16 with Rangers in 2008. Watching him now, it's a bit like finding out that a Britain's Got Talent winner is now working in Burger King. Steve Clarke just pick players on form, and Fleck, he just finished bottom of the league with Sheffield United and was mostly a wet cowpat all season. You don't want to bring in players who are used to losing. Maybe it's harsh, but I'd have left him at home. Czech Republic, Michael Kremchik, PAOK Salonika. 28-year-old Michael Kremchik. 4 league goals for PAOK Salonika in Greece. A striker who cannot score goals. He netted 3 for Club Bruges. Since leaving Victoria Pilsen, it's just been a waste of time. Spain, Eric Garcia, Barcelona. 2 years ago, Kepa Arrizabalaga became the most expensive goalkeeper of all time and was tipped to take David De Gea's #1 Spanish gloves. Robert Sanchez was at the time playing for Forest Green Rovers. Guess which one is now going to the Euros? Utterly mental, but to leave a Spanish colossal giant of a leader like Sergio Ramos at home in favour of bringing Eric Garcia in a scrum cap. Yes, he just tied up a move to Barcelona. Yes, you're hoping he's the next Gerard Piqué. But every time I saw him waddle onto the pitch for Man City, he looked like a disoriented chipmunk who just snorted Vaseline up his nose. Sweden, Andres Grankvist, Helsingborgs. Okay, we could touch on Gustav Svensson. He has about as much business being at the European Championships as DJ Khaled does being on the front cover of Men's Health. He spent the last 5 years of his life washed up in China and Seattle. But the real one here is Andres Grankvist. Yes, the former Wigan centre-back was great at the 2018 World Cup, but he's 36 now and so injury prone to the point where even by merely buttering a slice of toast, he'd probably be at risk of breaking his spine. Oh yeah, and he hasn't been capped in 2 years. He's in the Swedish second tier with Helsingborgs. Oh yeah, and looks old enough to be Tyson Fury's dad. I mean, come on, you'd have been better off bringing Olaf Melberg. Poland, Kamil Józwiak, Derby County. As a general rule, no Derby County player should be rewarded with an international tournament after nearly getting relegated to League 1. I mean, come on. Let's take a look at Kamil Józwiak, a 23-year-old winger from Poznan, who this season has recorded 1 goal and 3 assists in 41 games. That is nearly 3,000 minutes of game time. He was on the losing side 20 times this season, and so now, being given a spot at the Euros, it's like nominating a cinematic abortion like Norbit for the Oscars. Slovakia, Tomas Suslov Groningen. Tomas Suslov is a child, an 18-year-old born during the 2002 World Cup, and is a striker with 2 goals in his entire life. And yet Slovakia are at the tournament ahead of Ireland. To be honest, he's probably our version of Troy Powers. Hungary, Adam Salai, Mainz 05. This is probably Hungarian blasphemy for even suggesting to leave Adam Salai out of the squad. Yeah, I know he's a Hungarian striker who used to play for Real Madrid. That alone is probably enough to make you think he's the second coming of Ferenc Puskás himself. But his club form for a striker is utterly horrific. One sad and lonely Bundesliga goal from his last 2 seasons at Mainz 05. He only played 8 times last season, so his fitness, it must be stuffed down a drain pipe. Don't be surprised to see him vomit up sweaty porridge on the pitch 20 minutes into the first game against Portugal. Portugal, Goncalo Guedes, Valencia. Portugal's squad is utterly disgusting. It is dripping with quality all over the pitch. I know they're the European Championship holders, but I'm sorry, this squad would make wet cottage pie of the one that squeaked their way to victory in 2016. Listen, Wolves had a pretty duff season, but Pedro Neto still chipped in with 5 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League, and yet he's left out for Goncalo Guedes, who's got 5 goals and 6 assists in La Liga with Valencia. They're quite evenly matched, but no. Vote for Pedro. France, Moussa, Sissoko, Tottenham. There's a whole other team of mouth-watering French talent that have been left on the couch just because they could. But to bring Moussa Sissoko, it's an insult to the rules of football. This guy is blown hot and cold throughout his entire career. Well, I'm sorry, this season it's cold. About as cold as the personality of a middle-aged librarian. He's been a Tottenham bench warmer in 2021. So bringing him ahead of Tanguy Ndombele, it is surely proof that Didier Deschamps has never watched a Tottenham game in his entire life. Germany, Robin Koch, Leeds. We live in a world where a defender from Leeds has forced a world champion to sit out of the tournament on the bench. I have nothing against Robin Koch, but come on, Jerome Boateng, every summer he gets tipped with an insulting move to Arsenal, and every summer it never happens. Instead he just goes and wins another Bundesliga. He's been an ever-present for Bayern Munich this season, being a terrific centre-back once again, so a pretty horrific decision. Anyway, that's it. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? What player from your country does not deserve to make it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.